Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1. I have my next video for you here. I've been putting a lot of effort into this and revamping some things that I've already shared. So this is going to be a big video as far as length because it's going to be recapping some things I've already shared about November, and all the coding from November are 11. And like I've shared before, January is really the 11th month. That's how the elites look at it. Wintertime to them is still towards the end of the year. Spring is the beginning of the year, just like God set up originally, and that's his calendar. But as far as the masses go, so all this stuff with the different calendars works and all this coding works. They hide it from people that we're off by 2 months basically, as far as the real time. So it's really the 11th month to the elites. So I'm going to go over several things that I've talked about in my series, the next 9/11, and then all the episodes. Those are all still valid. This is really crazy. Also, my videos, iPad Go 2 and Georgia Guidestones solved. Also, August Attacks series that I had. Many things that I've shared where I get into these codes, they all come back to the 223 or the 1123. And all this stuff. So I think we might be finally here. Of course, I've said that a few times, but again, this is still speculation, and this is my best shot at it. But it's pretty huge that we're getting right there, because the things that have been going on with Iran are really confirming for me that I'm on the right trail. If you think this is over with Iran, think again. And I'm going to show you some things that will blow your mind. I have some really crazy, incredible stuff as far as also God's timeline that's finally revealed to me, I believe. And so I'm going to present that as well. So this is going to be a huge video with a lot of information that some things I've already shared, but I'm going to explain what they really mean in the light of this month. Again, January is the god Janus, which is the god of transitions, which would be perfect for this month. That's exactly why they set it up this way. We had September, October, November, December, which were really Septem, Octo, Novem, and Decem, which is in Latin, 7, 8, 9, 10, but we know those months as 9, 10, 11, 12. And so that is a very good way that they can play off all these coding of these numbers and everything, and these dates being off by 2 months. And then also the Julian calendar, which they go by as well in different ways, being off by 13 days. So, and there's a 13-day process as well with the apple rolling. And I've shared that many times. I'm going to get into the apple roll. I'm going to mention a few times. So here we go. So like I've said, I'm going to really focus on the attack days that are coming first, which I believe are 11/18, which is really January 18th, because January is the 11th month. Okay, December, Decem in Latin means 10. That was the 10th month, but we know it's the 12th month. And so basically January is the 11th month, really, to them. And so all my coding for my episodes on the next 9/11 series were for 11/23, and 11/18, 11/19 I'm going to talk about as well. So the 11/18, 11/19 I'm going to talk about first. And of course, like I mentioned, these two monoliths here, as shown in this depiction here, are the two aircraft carriers that are going to be sunk. Okay, and the way they're shown, I believe, shows a distance. And I thought they could be somewhat in the area, but this is more confirming that they're going to be at a distance from each other, just the way they're depicted, okay? And then again, this has to do with the death of two presidents, and that's in this whole figure here, and even the cave. There's a cave in this, her leg here, it says cave. I'm going to get into that here. So without further ado, let's go. So as on January 18th, I believe there's going to be something that happens. That's when the apple will hit the 7. It'll be the 7th day of the apple roll. And as I've shared before, on the apple in iPad Go, when it's rolling and it hits the 7, upside down and backwards is Hawaii on the apple. And it's going to hit the 7th day. The apple roll starts with the 12th, which is a mirror of, or a reflection of, the 12/12 on the full moon in December. And it will basically start on the 12th and go through to the 25th, reflecting the 25th of December, which was Christmas. So there's a lot of things going on that. I'm not going to explain everything on that because I have a lot to explain here. And so when he dies, it's either going to be, I think it might be a real head wound, but it could be a figurative or a symbolic head wound for Obama or something with Hawaii at the same time. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be. Again, I'm going by what I see in this and what I've been shown. So this is actually showing, I believe, right here, of course, 1, and this is an 8, and this is when he enters the basically the netherworld, and when he dies, and that's when he enters this church that eventually collapses when he wakes up. So when he wakes up in the boat, he comes out in the boat, and then he wakes up, and that's when the church collapses where he was, and that was when death kind of is gone for him. So, and then again, this 1, and this is an 8, and then 1, 1, okay? And then the other date, which is, we have 1, 1, 1, 8, which is 11/18, or January 18th. The other day is 11/19, or as a way of looking at how we know it as January 19th, which is 119. And I've showed many times how Trump is Mr. 119 or Mr. 9/11. And this is an example of a little meme thing kind of with showing Trump to American disasters, or America's 20th century disasters, how he relates to 9/11 and 11/9. I'm going to show him more about that, of course. But the reason why he's coded to this day 1119 or 119 or 9119111 is because that will be his demise. And I'm going to say, in the future, I'm going to call him Trumple. Okay, so I'm going to call him Trumple, and I'm going to call our previous president B.O. Okay, maybe even Stinky B.O. I also call him Beelzebub Butthead and some other things, Lord of the Buttheads, because these people are evil people. They're evil people, and I like to make light of I like to talk about their evil and what they actually do, and especially when Trump comes off as doing the right thing and on the right side and everything. He's not. He's absolutely not. If you've done any kind of research, any kind of study into all kinds of things, you'll understand that. If you still believe he's on your side, man, if you have a rude awakening. You really do. He is a Trojan horse crafted by the elites to destroy Christianity and conservatism on this planet as we know it. Okay, it's really, I mean, I'm saying Christianity, the true form, will actually keep going during the tribulation and everything that's coming. And then the real faithful will be taken up right as the tribulation starts, and then come back down to fight the enemy during the tribulation and save people, save souls, and do a harvest during that time. But the elite have their plans. They have the checkerboard, which is shown in iPad Goat in the classroom, and that's the false, good, and bad. Okay, it's, of course, bad is just bad, but it's the false good as well as the bad. It's their chessboard. They have set the pawns for the good and bad, and then they're really behind the scenes doing everything, as I've shared many, many times. So Trump is 119. Okay, and there's an example of this sort of commercial where he's with this sheep, and he's 11/9 as well. And I'm going to get into more details on that, which I have before. But the dates I'm talking about are 1/1/1/8, or January 18th. Well, again, January is really the 11th month, and 1/1/19. And by the way, this is so the symbolism works and these hidden codes work. It's symbolized off of November 18th being the symbolic 11th month, because that's the 322nd day of the year, and that's 322 skull and bones, and then plus 5, it gets you to 1123. And again, that's symbolic of 223, because 11 is 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay, and I'm going to show you this 322 plus 5, which I've shown many times before. So also, the 1123 is, again, 11 is 1 plus 1 is 2, so that makes 223, the attack day of 223, which has been shown in many things. Check out my series going back several videos, August Attacks, where I showed how there's all these different things coded for August 11th. Why? Because August is the eighth month. Not really, it's really the 6th month, but but the 11th day of August is the 223rd day of the year, which has to do with all this stuff. But they encoded so many things to August 11th, just like they did to November 3rd, which a lot of people were thinking there's going to be an attack in Seattle. There was a lot of things coded to San Francisco for August 11th and other places. August 11th was huge. I think it was maybe even bigger than the November 3rd kind of hoax or the thing that people thought would be at that time, which is really pointing to a different day. Anyway, so if you take 223 or 1123 minus 5, you get to 1118 / 1119. So because it depends if you include the day itself or you add a day to the existing day. So they like to play these games with either including the day or adding a day for the day count. So you have minus. So what does that mean? So like as in Abraham Lincoln CVN 72, CVN breaks down to 3, 2, 2, and 14. 22 and 14. So that's 3225. So 322 is the attack day, or backwards 223 plus 5, or like I'm saying, 223 minus 5. So literally right on the Lincoln and the Truman are the dates of destruction. Okay, the first day to start everything and the last day. The first day to begin the destruction of the United States symbolically, and the last day to finalize the destruction of the United States, I believe. Okay, and then of course 322 is skull and bones. So you have 322 is the actual attack day, but it's also the final attack day backwards, which is 223, which is again, in code 1123, which is really ultimately, I believe, January the 11th month, the 23rd day. And as I shown in the woman with the dead boy upside down, her burqa, basically where her legs sticking up, is it's a mountain with, you have lava right here. Oops, okay, I'll just go that way. And it really spells out cave right there. Okay, backwards CAVE. Okay. And then let me go back to here. Then that's actually cave. And then cave is actually CAVE, okay, which is 31225. Do you see the similarity to the CVN? Yes, the CVN. Plus, what it shows is the 322nd day was the 18th. And then we're adding a 1 to the 22, which is 23. The 323rd day is, of course, 1119, which again is in code for January 19th. Okay, and then so like I said, CVN was 3225. See how this is similar? Plus the Thai boys that are the 12 figures that are also behind the Lily and iPad Go, which are also 12 presidents that go through the rite of Osiris every single inauguration. And if you didn't know, Washington, D.C. is a big satanic site, and because it's really mystery, it's the head of Mystery Babylon. It's the whore of Babylon. Basically, as in shown in iPad Go, the whore is inside the phallic symbol that's on the East Coast, and exactly where the phallic symbol is, and the figure that's laying down, that's half woman, half man with the leg up, is the whole East Coast, and exactly where that phallic symbol is in iPad Go, and where the woman's inside, that's exactly where Washington, D.C. is. And then Washington, D.C. is on the border of Maryland and Virginia. So that's Mary, or Virgin Mary. Virgin Mary, a false Virgin Mary for the birth of the Antichrist, which is a president. Okay, there's so much to that. And the false John the Baptist, which is Trump. His name is, his first name is Donald, which means world ruler. His second name is John, which is, like in the Bible, John was the messenger that preceded Jesus, and then his last name is Trumpet, or Trump. So he is the world leader, which is an example, the Antichrist, messenger trumpeter. Okay, so that's what he is, and he's that's what he's doing, but in a deceptive way, looking like the good guy at the same time, and going to take the fall for the 8th king described in Revelation 17, because Obama is the 6th king, Trump is the 7th king, and BO comes back as the 8th king. Okay, and then also cave backwards is evac. And of course, that has to do with the destruction. These days have to do with the destruction of the Lincoln USS Abraham Lincoln, and then they're going to be evacuating. And like I've shown here, this is a video they showed months ago where they were saying, and that's their little thing here for their video, CVN 72. They say, we are Lincoln Nation. And I show how we are Lincoln Nation is code. Also, Lincoln Nation itself is code for the attack days. And I'm going to show that to you. But right here, as they're doing this ritual of evacuating the Lincoln, and they said to the public that it was celebrating the 243rd birthday of the United States. And so they're jumping off. They're evacuating the Lincoln, jumping off, having a good time. But then they show this right here. They show this. This is P, and this is not an F because it's connected. This is P19. And then I finally realized what that is. P, if we go with English, reverse English ordinal, Z is number 1, and you go backwards, P is 11, and then 19 is right there. So P is in reverse English order, in reverse English gematria is 11, and that's 19. And that's what they're actually showing there, just so you know, okay? And then I've taken this image and put it sideways, and there's so much in this image of the two presidential eliminations. Okay, for sure, Trump'll, and then I think BO may be, like I said, physically may happen, or maybe, I'm not sure, but you get the idea here. So right here in this bandage, because it's associated with his death, and this is a kid from the Middle East, because that's the mother. So he's Middle Eastern, or really Syrian, and BO is an Assyrian. He has DNA. He is a clone. He has DNA from Akhenaten. As I've shown, he's connected to Akhenaten in many ways, so many ways. I can't even get into everything. But this is R. This is an R, and then there's 11, which is lit up right here. 11, R11, which R is the 18th letter of the alphabet, and then 11 is the 11th month, which is really January. Then we have over here, like I said, right here in the outline of this, there's a shape of a 9 right here, and the clouds make kind of an outline of a 9 sideways here, or up and down now that I've turned the image sideways. And then right here, we also have 1 and then 2, 1 sideways and 2. So that's 12. And that depicts the 9, which is the Abraham Lincoln, which is 72. 7 plus 2 is 9. And the Truman, which is 75, or 7 plus 5 is 12. And then, of course, we have them both being attacked. And they're right here. It's right here. It's all over here. Okay. And then, of course, Lincoln Nation, which is in Jewish gematria 422, which is 2 and 2 is 4. So 44 is BO, the 44th president. And then, of course, Lincoln Nation is the attack day of 9/12, or it's also both carriers, 9 and 12. We are Lincoln Nation, as they say. Okay. And then it just so happens that the phrase Trump assassinated exactly equals 1314, which is 4 and 5. 1 plus 3 is 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. 45. He's Mr. 45th president. And then, of course, that exactly equals the attack day of 219 again. And, of course, we have 912, 219, 129, whatever. Ultimately, it's hidden in BO's date of birth, which is the 216th day of the year. And as I've said many times, the 216 is many things. It's very symbolic, but it's also the initial attack day, because I had a dream where the Lord, there was a 216 in the air. Jesus was sitting down. He got up. It was very quick. He took his finger and flipped the 6 to a 9, because they really look at the 6 as a 9 as interchangeable for their code. So it's really 219. And his date of birth, the day of the year, is the 216th day of the year, but it's really symbolic. It's kind of hidden. The 219, which is the attack code of 219. I'm going to show you exactly what that is. Okay. Okay, and let's go to the symbol again, and close up on her face. And again, in her face is the 2 different attack days with the 2 different prez. Former leader, or current leader, and the former leader of the country. Okay. So we have right here again is V right here. There's a V right here, and that's 22. Then we have there's a D right here. Come on. There's a D right here, and that's 4, the 4th letter. So 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is 44. And then down here, okay, we have the M, which is the 13th letter. She's crying. It's an M. Then we have an N, which is the 14th letter. So 1 plus 3 is 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. So we have the 45th. So just in our head of this scene, we have both elimination of both former leaders of the United States. Well, one's current and one's former, whatever I'm trying to say here. Okay, so it's right there. Okay, and then they're pointing to what I'm showing here is just in this code here is 4, 4, and then 45. And they both show the exact attack days in 9/12 or 2/1 or 2/19. Either way, it's backwards, forwards, it doesn't matter. 2/19, 9/12, and I'm going to show you what that is, okay? As I've already shown in a way, but what exactly it is. Okay, and then these are the presidents, of course. And then we have, again, We Are Lincoln Nation is also spelled out, and that is 1413, which is backwards 45. So that's 5 and 4. And then right here is also the attack date 12/6, which is 6 is upside down, which is 9. So it's 12/9. And again, so they have all this gematria in just Lincoln Nation and also the whole We Are Lincoln Nation. And it's really demonic how they come up with all this stuff. Okay, so we have Trumple. Okay, and then we show this upside down. Now, not only is it right side up 45, and it looks like mascara running or something, but it's weird. Or she's just crying, it's dirt, or who knows. And then upside down, we have a U and a W. U is 21 in her face, of course, right here. That's U and that's W. And right side up is M and N. So the U is 21, 21st letter of the alphabet is U. W is 23. They love 23. They love W. And then for a lot of the stuff in IBEG, they love you as well. They love you. No, they don't really love you. They don't love us, but they love the letter U. Anyway, so that is the 323rd day, okay, of the year, which was November 19th. Okay, is what that's pointing to. The 323rd day of the year is November 19th because we have 21, which is 3, and then we have 23, which is 3. 323 is the 323rd day of the year, okay, which is 11/19, like I said, and that's in the code. So if you look at the code, what the real code is for the real attack day, the first attacking on the Abraham Lincoln and Trumple, he's a fall guy. He's a Trojan horse for Christians and conservatives to incite anger and to start World War III for the left and everybody else. And also to completely cut the legs out of under any kind of goodness in the worldly Christians and conservatives because they were part of starting World War III through Trump, who they elected him as their representative. And it's going to be very bad. It's all designed to make that side look like nothing and look like they're evil and everything. It's really insidious, and you got to see this. You've got to see this and know this before this happens. And again, 11/19. So if you take 11, is 1 plus 1 is 2, and then you have the 19th. That's 2/19. That's the attack code. And so they've, just like August 11th, just like 11/3, just like different dates, they've attached all these things, these attack codes and these things to these dates, but ultimately they're referring to an actual set of attack days that I'm saying. I'm saying that these are finally it, I think. Now, again, we'll see what happens, but things are really lining up for Iran and everything. Things are really hitting. In fact, several things I had said in my previous predictions have come true in different forms, but just wasn't the exact full attack things, of course. But they were on exact days. It's insane. It's just amazing. So I'm on to things, of course, and eventually I believe this will be completely solved, which I think it might be right now. So this is another crazy thing. This is impossible, really. Of course, most of these things are completely impossible, and if you work the numbers of them, they're off the charts impossible. And so the only way they could work is if they were planned. They can't just organically happen. When you think of a coincidence, coincidences really don't exist. There's actually spiritual reasons, spiritual laws for everything. There's actually real cause and effect and real reasons for everything. There's really no such thing as a coincidence. You can have a coincident, but how they relate to each other in a particular way there's reasons for it. And so the fact of Trump's birthday being 6/14, adding to January 19th, or I'm saying 1119, equaling 219 days, is impossible. I mean, for what everything I've been saying and for it to line up completely, I mean, this is all planned. This is all planned, and you'll eventually see it if you don't see it now, because for various reasons, people believe different things based on, their own agenda inside them, in their heart and whatever. And Jesus wants you to know that it doesn't matter what you believe, it's what the truth is, and the truth that he has made available to you is what matters in life. Okay, what God has made available to you in the truth is what matters. It doesn't matter of your perception of it or my perception of it. And so I've aligned myself to his perception of truth as much as I possibly can. And it's been battling all kinds of things in my heart, things in my mind that have warred against that. And I'm in a process still, but I've been successful in basically killing a lot of things in my life with Jesus, the things that are in the way of really walking in goodness and benefit in my life because of the truth, walking in the truth. So it's really important that truth reign in your life through Jesus and knowing him, because he is the truth. He is the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through him. And I just beg you to understand that eventually your world is going to completely collapse. And I'm trying to give you footing under your feet for when these days, and this is what he's given me and showed me to share with you and do, and what my mission is. When these things first start happening, you're going to have some kind of, solidness under your feet to believe the truth, and that he shared these things ahead of time. Okay, and then you're going to be able to believe in him easier if you don't believe in him, or maybe you do, but it's been really strained, or maybe the world's gobbled you up, like the Bible talks about, sowing the seed, and here comes the birds, and here comes the weeds, or whatever might have taken your first love away, like it describes in Revelation 2. One of the churches was like, you left your first love, which was me. Whatever that is, I just encourage you with this, what's coming, you're going to need him very badly. So here's Mr. Trumple Thinskin, as I like to call him. Again, I'm making fun. I don't make fun of people. I don't call people names, except for the completely sick, twisted people that are going to cause death of millions. That have no problem. Does anybody have a problem making fun of Hitler? Like, call Hitler, psycho. I mean, call him whatever name. Who would care about you calling names, Hitler names? Because he's been made to be the monster of the 20th century, which he was in a way, but he wasn't what people said he was. In a lot of ways, he was all programmed and made to be that person for all kinds of reasons. I'm not saying he was really bad, of course, but what I'm saying is there's horrible people like Trumple, like BO, who are basically going to destroy many people's lives very badly, and so that warrants me making fun of them and also pointing out truth through their names. Okay, Barack Obama is Beelzebub butthead. He is the Lord of the buttheads. I mean, he really is. He is super evil. People have talked about how he smells like sulfur. He's had many pictures where flies have landed on him and stay on him directly. It's really quite crazy. Nobody has been marked with that I have ever heard of. So here's Trumple, and he's talking in an assertive commercial to the sheep number 1. And this is really important that you follow this. Follow the bouncing ball. Follow the bouncing ball. Okay, so here we go. Here's Trumple. And so there's the 11 sheep, and then he's talking to the 1 sheep, which is in between the 11 and 9. It's not quite to the 9. So that is 11 back there. He's talking to the 1 sheep who's right in between the 11 and the 9. And then there's the 9 sheep showing the attack day right there. Moving on. I've shared this before, and I'm going to share it again. We know the founding of our country as January 4th. We know our founding of our country is January 4th, 1776. Okay, but really, it was finalized. The Declaration of Independence and everything was finalized on 7/7/1776. And 1776 is really, if you take the 1 and put it where the 6 is, it's 777. And they love this stuff. 1776 is also 888 plus 888. And then 1776 is really 77777. Okay, and I'm going to show you here later in this video what all these 8/8s and what these 7/7s really are. It's all God's numbers in the heavens. As Jesus said, look to the heavens for his return, and these signs in the heavens. And I'm going to show you what those are. Some of what those are in this video. It's really crazy. So if you go from 7/7/1776 to 11/19/19, which is, of course, November 1919, but the real 11/19/19 is really January 19, and we're still in the year 2019. I'm just telling you, believe it or not. Okay, we're still, according to the elites, we're still in the year 2019. Okay, it's really the 11th month because December was Decem, which is 10. November was Novem in Latin, which is 9. All that. Okay, so, and guess what? That's 88,888 days. And that just so has to be symbolically tied to the first attack. So really, it's the beginning of the United States, and it's the beginning of the end of the United States. And that's not a coincidence. Do you think that these two dates, being 88,888 days, would be a massive coincidence? I mean, seriously. Wow. I mean, if you understand numbers in any way, that's impossible. But like I said, also, well, let me share this with you as well. I finally know, I think I know what 11/11 is. Again, 11/19/19. 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10, and 19 again is 10. We take away the zeros, and then you have, actually, before I do that, Trump is 88, and Donald J. Trump is 888. So that's why he's associated with this to the end of the United States and the days and everything. So we have 88,888 days, and that's Trump and Donald J. Trumple. And then that is 11/19/19, because 19 is really 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the zero is 1. 1 plus 9 is 10. Take away the zero is 1. So it's 11/11. It's crazy. This is crazy. Okay, you can also look at it this way. You can look at it as January, 19th, which is, look at it as the first month. Okay, look at January as the first month. Look at the 19th as, again, 10. Take away the zero. That's 1/1. January 19th is really 1/1. And then 2020 is also 11/11. So it's also 11/11/11. I mean, so 2 in 20, and the second 20 is really 1/1 and 1/1. So, I mean, it's just crazy. It goes so many ways. It's really ridiculous, actually, and I'm tired of it, actually. I can't wait for this all to be over, in a sense. Not for things to happen to people. I've been dreading this for 5 years since I knew about it. The Lord gave me dreams and visions during this time, and all this time in 5 years. But I'm just really tired, and I'm tired of the evil that's rampant in this world, as a lot of you are, I'm sure. And I'm just so done with this. And let's just, so be it. So be it. It will happen. It's happening. I prayed against it for a long time, and finally the Lord just said to me, I think it was like a year, I just after I started doing videos, I think he just said, you can pray against this, but it's not going to change it. Why don't you start praying for people and pray for my will to be done? And so I changed my way of thinking. So here is the head wound. Again, this is BO's face upside down. This is nostril, mouth, eyes closed, and that's a head wound. And that's also a mosque as well. And by the way, BO also has a ring that says Allah is the only God. That's been proven. He is talked about, he basically bowed down to the king of Saudi Arabia. That's been shown. I mean, so many things where he basically shows himself as many things, but one of those things is very much, Muslim at heart and anti-Christian in many ways. So it's not a surprise that his head wound would be there. He's also looked at as the Mahdi, or the Mahdi, the Al-Mahdi, or you could say Mahdi. He meets all the requirements of the Mahdi and everything, like I've shared many times. In fact, like I've shared many, Obama, I have almost 400 reasons, which are massive and huge reasons why Obama is, or BO is the Antichrist. Okay, so what I'm showing you here is these two horns right here. okay, which kind of represents a rhino, but I'm not getting all that right now. And then or 11, and this one in this right here, or this is an 8. This is an 8 right here, so it's 1118, and that's the attack on that. This also has to do with Hawaii. I think we're probably going to see some lava and some kind of eruption in Hawaii on that day. Even still, I think that's what it shows. And again, a lot of this stuff I could be wrong. There could be some parts that happen and all that, but I think we may finally see this all play out very close to what I'm saying. I will see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the future. I don't have, a portal that I can look through, stick my head through, and see what's going to happen in the future. I mean, in a way, I wouldn't really want that. Not really. But in a way, I'm just trying to follow the clues the Lord's given me to best represent Him and what He's showing me. And again, they're just puzzle pieces. Okay? So if any of you that give anybody a hard time for trying to predict something, which most people don't give anybody, it seems like only really give people a hard time like me when I'm trying to predict something that actually benefits many people to let them know and warn them. But people could be the biggest jerks and jackwagons there are in the history of the world for someone just trying to warn people of destruction that's coming out of a pure heart. So if you have a problem with that, you're going to stand before Jesus at some point, and you're going to have to make account for that. And I feel for you. I pray for you that your heart will be open, that you have nothing better to do than thumbs down my video as soon as I put it up. Literally, I put up a video, and in the first few minutes, I mean, the video is like an hour and a half long, whatever. First few minutes, I have 4 to 5 thumbs down. I mean, or you come in and you threaten my family, whatever. I feel sorry for you. I really do. And I pray that Jesus would open up your heart and heal your wounded heart, because that's the only reason why you do that, is if your heart is so wounded and so darkened that you need to act out on it against good people. So, and that's all I'm doing. My whole benefit in my life is to share the truth in a way the Lord has given me to benefit other people's lives, so they have ground to stand on, and they know that Jesus cares for them. And that's one way of doing it. Right there is a kind of distorted version, but it's the angles are right and everything of a sunken or aircraft carrier sinking. And again, that is shown in this building and everything right here in several ways, as I've shown, the code of 219. And then so we have 2 different days shown right here. It's this attack and this attack, but ultimately this is a submarine sail, the top of a submarine. It's also the top of an aircraft carrier. And then this is a submarine right here. And the distance to this aircraft carrier that's being sunken right here, it's all right here in this. Okay. And then again, cave backwards is evac. Okay. And then here's another way that cave is represented, as I've shown before. And by the way, this is the silver gate over here and the golden gate, I think. But anyway, so we have in this where the head wound is, and this is the top. And so these are lights in a sense. So this also gives more credence, even more credence to this. Also symbolizes the top or the command center in a sense of the aircraft carrier. So these lights, and I'm gonna go through this kind of fast because I've shared this before in a few videos. This is cave. Also, how is it cave? Well, there's 3 dots, and then this makes a big slash. This thing right there, and that's a slash. If you fill this in, I put the 2 lines in there, that makes a V, and that's 22. And then you just put a little line right there to make that finalize the E, which is hidden. There's E and 5, which is cave as well. And so that supports, again, the attack days of the 322nd day, which is 11/18, plus 1 of the 323rd day of the year, which is 11/19. Again, symbolically of the 11th month, the 19th day. Okay, but they use November as the day as far as how many days of the year. Okay, but it's actually showing January being the day, is what I'm saying. And then, like I've shown before, again, as well, there's a big K right here. This is a K. It almost looks like the special K, like a special K with the big old fat top of the K right there. There's a K right in here. And then also, which K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. And then we have an R. Included in this K is an R. Right here is an R. It's very obvious to me, but... And then R is 18. And then we have this Draco character. He is the $5 bill. He's got a 5 right there. He looks like Lincoln. Okay, he's got the Lincoln beard. He's on the $5 bill, which is, Lincoln, of course. So that's, showing the attack day, showing Lincoln being attacked, which is, and then right here, like I shared before, that's like a spike there. That's an 8. That's a 1-1. It's an 1811 exactly right there as well. And then there are 3 days from, I think we might have something on the 21st from the 18th, either symbolically or somehow showing the resurrection of BO or something. I'm not really sure on that, but I'm throwing it out there anyway. And then golden earring that he's wearing is the exact attack day code, which is 12-9. Okay. Again, that also represents the Truman, which is 12, 75, 7 plus 5 is 12, and the Lincoln, which is 72, 7 plus 2 is 9. So also, as I've shown also, so we have 1118, which represents the attack of the head wound of BO, and then 1119, the next day, represents the attack of Trumple. Right here, you have the K and the R, which is, again, K was 11, R is 18, and then right here is a plus, you could say as a plus, and then I put 2 lines here to accentuate this A that's right here hidden, and that is showing, this is a little silhouette of Trumple, and there's a nose, you see there's eyes right there where my dot is, and you can see the part on the side of the hair right here, that is the demise of Trumple right here. And there it is right there. I blew it up, and that's 1119. So you have 1118 plus A. A is the first letter of the alphabet, of course. So that's 1119. Again, this scene as well with these islanders, and this is on Hawaii. Why? Because number symbolism in this girl in a way, but also right here it says lava, Lava, and that's another reason why I believe lava is going to come out on that day. And I'm going to show you that. And then also the next one, this says Hawaii. It's Hawaii. Hawaii is right there. So it's lava, Hawaii. And then again, let me go here, the next one. We have, this is him, this person here who's basically born, I think this is BO in a sense, and he's untying this is a ultraviolet or purplish ultraviolet color bow, which is the pregnancy, and then untying the bow is going to be the birth. Okay, so he's untying it. He's the male with the head cut off here, so he's a male here, and that's the girl or the female with the breast and everything, and that's the birth. Okay, so this is a timeline here too, I'm saying. So we have lava, Hawaii on 322, because that's skull and bones, that's on his arm. 322 is 322nd day, which is of the year, which is 1118. And then we have right after here was right where 1119 would be, which where the AK-47 starts, and this is war all the way to her arm, which I just cut off, but I have it right here. Her arm, it shows V, which is 22, and this is an A with 2 more ticks, because this thing makes the kind of the sort of the cross beam of the A. 2 more ticks is a 3. A plus 1 is 3. 22, 3, 2, 2, 3. So we have 322 to 223 represented in this thing right here, starting with lava in Hawaii to the destruction, and then war starting right here with this AK-47 shown right here, and this is war. There's a green dot on here, which means a go for war. Anyway, I think that's what that's showing, and we'll see. Then we have the Golden Gate alignment, I'm calling it. There's no name for it, so I've called it the Golden Gate alignment because I discovered it. And I also discovered that there was an additional planet on the Revelation 12 sign in alignment with the other 4 planets, which are right here. The exact same 5 planets were in the alignment in the Revelation 12 sign with the sun. So it directly relates from the Revelation 12 sign to this Golden Gate alignment, which was exactly parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge, similar to this, over the Golden Gate Bridge on 11/9, which is 9/11 backwards at 2:40 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, and I could not believe it. What the Lord was kind of guiding me to and looking at this, it was just a confluence of events that I got to this. And I'm like, is this real, Lord? Is this right? And then, so when I followed it, so again, this is kind of the horizon line. This is where the land would be in San Francisco. This is the horizon. And the same day, Sirius went up and down. Sirius went down, and then these 5 planets followed Sirius at the exact spot on the horizon and went down like this. These 5 planets with the sun. And then I'm like, is this real? Is this? And I was just this is starting to unfold. And then I saw a video, which I wasn't watching many of his videos at the time. And I end up seeing this, I think on this front thumbnail, and I about lost it. I could not believe what I was seeing. And then I watched the video a little bit, Daniel Alexander Cannon on Logic Before Authority, my brother. It was a perfect alignment of these fires that were man-made. They were caused by this weapon that's in the sky, I believe. It might be what NASA calls a telescope. It concentrates the sun's energy. And the reason why I think that specifically, there's a number of reasons, but there's been a lot of predictive programming showing that in different things, different movies, even including the recent Angry Birds 2, which is I could not believe it. You watch Angry Birds 2 and watch the first few minutes of it. You see meteors, tsunamis, you see the sun weapon from the pigs. It's phenomenal. And the villain is a phoenix, which looks like an eagle because and eagles are representatives of this country. The phoenix is actually ultraviolet. It's really quite staggering. And the phoenix character is sitting in a pink chair, or like a water lounge thing in a pool. And that's Obama was sitting in a pink chair with an ultraviolet tassel and iPad Goat 2. Anyway, so this is confirming. And so I just turned this upside down. And then as you can see here, these fires are exactly in alignment with the biggest fire. This is kind of looked at from satellite. The biggest fire represents the sun because the sun is bigger, looks bigger, of course. And these are these 5 planets I'm talking about. And they're exactly parallel. Not only were they parallel right here, above it, if you're looking at it from this direction, they're also these fires that represent that. And that's what they were signaling by. And he figured that out, and it confirmed for me that's what this is. This is the alignment. This is really crazy. And this is the Golden Gate Bridge right here. This is the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's parallel to these fires right here on the ground. So we had the alignment parallel up here to the Golden Gate Bridge, if you're looking at it on the horizon, and then we have these fires parallel to the Golden Gate Bridge right here. And so that said to me, pay dirt, we're here. This is what this is. And so I've got a new timeline that's from the Lord, and I'm very stoked about this right now. I'm so, I couldn't wait to get this out. So from the Revelation 12 sign on 9/3/2017, 9/23/2017, to the Golden Gate alignment on 11/9 that happened again, it's 9/11 backwards, is 777 days, which is really crazy. Okay, because the Golden Gate alignment to me has been established because it's got the same exact planets as in the Revelation 12 sign, and where it was positioned over the Golden Gate. I mean, it's predicting the opening of the Golden Gate that's going to happen. This is what I'm saying, maybe when it opens. Okay, this is crazy. Okay, and then 7 plus 7 days earlier, or 14 days earlier, was the birth. That's when Jupiter actually came out of bouncing around inside of Virgo for 9 months, 9 prophetic months, which is 30-day periods in the Bible. 9 30-day periods, 9 prophetic months, and 23 days in the Virgin, in Virgo, and then popped out between her legs on 9/9. Again, the 99, there's so much to that. And then here, go to the next thing. Then you go back to the Great American Eclipse, which was an eclipse that went through 7 Salems, different Salem cities called Salem, represents the 7 kings that try to do peace with Israel, and Trump's the last one to have the peace deal come out. And then Congress basically, passed this law saying they're going to do a 2-state solution. And this was in the House, I think. Anyway, so from the Great American Eclipse to this Golden Gate alignment just happened to be 811 days. 811. Again, the attack code of August 11th or 811. God already came up with this in the stars, sun, moon, and stars. It's crazy. So from there to there is 811. There's so much more. This is really crazy. Okay, and then we have from the Great American, let's just go from the right here, the Golden Gate alignment. 77 days later is what I'm saying will be the final attack day. So we'll have birth to birth. So 7 plus 7 days, 777 days, and then this is 77 days. Again, God's into sevens. 7 is spiritual perfection. God's name actually in Hebrew looks like 777. And he is 777 numerically in so many ways. He's perfection. And that's what the enemy's trying to get to 777, being like God. Okay, I didn't put the 77 right here because I'm going to put stuff in here. But that's the 77th day, which is January 25th. Which also, like I said before, is in a sense it's a actual of the shadow of 1225. 25 is also big in many ways. Not getting all that. I don't have time for all that. But then we have, this is extraordinary. From the Golden Gate alignment, exactly 72 days later is January 19th, which I believe is tattooed right on the Lincoln. Lincoln is CVN 72, and like I said, CVN is the start attack day, which is 11/19 or 1/19 or January 19th, and the last attack day of the 23rd. And Lincoln is 72, which is exactly 72 days from the Golden Gate alignment is this day. And it's also connected to Trump because he's 45. 4 plus 5 is 9, and 7 plus 2 is 9. It's the 99 I've been talking about as well. They're both 9, and they're both the old Lion Kings, or Lincoln Lion Kings to be removed for the true man. And that makes way for the true man, which is the false man, really, but they're calling him the true man, which is BO, stinky BO. And that's would be representing the tsunamis that happen on the 23rd, which is 123, which is also 12-3, which is the LC in iPad Go, which because L is 12 and C is 3, so that's 12-3, representing the dragon that shows up in Revelation 12-3, but they show it in code as 123. Or in a sense hidden 12-3, which is also 123 is 1 is also looks like I if you write it. Many people and many things, this is how they do this. Just as 6 and 9 are interchangeable for the elites because they look at either way, 1 and I are the same, and I is the 9th letter, so that makes 1, 2, 3, 9, 23. And I was told 5 years ago, something like that, and 923, America is laid low in a dream. And that'll be tsunamis that hit both coasts caused by all the predictive programming shows us, by Russian submarines that are going to use Poseidon missiles, also called torpedoes, canyon torpedo or Poseidon missiles. There's a movie called Poseidon about a tsunami which takes down a big old ship. And are you kidding? A tsunami that takes down a ship, and I've been talking about that with the Abraham Lincoln. Anyway, but these are symbols of these things. Literally, the Lincoln and the Truman are marked with the days of destruction, 72 and 75, and both together make the initial attack day. It's extraordinary but that's what these psychos believe. They believe hidden in plain sight. And they believe in putting this stuff right in front of your face, and so you don't see in a way that you don't see it. So they have to be super deceptive and share this and show this and bring this about with predictive programming and all this stuff to bring this and get spiritual energy more and more with rituals and things as they go along to get to the final days of attack and destruction and bringing on the new world order with a one world government, one world leader, and one world religion. Okay, so here's more. Check this out. This is really crazy. So, Great American Eclipse, day of 8/21/2017. So the birth I'm saying is 888 days. This is phenomenal. This is phenomenal to me. And this is so intricate and crazy. So I'm saying basically what the elites have been signaling on 888, 777, and 77 are right here in front of you. Okay? And in a way, this is balanced too, because right here from the birth is 7 plus 7 days, which in a way you can look at it as 77. And then on the other side is 77 days. So this is 77 and 77 and 777. And this is the 888. Another thing I'm going to share really quick is we know what the 888 is. 888 is the 88 is the 88 days. This year, which is still 2019, is the year of the 88, as I've shared. From January 21st, this year was a blood moon. From that blood moon to the false Passover in Israel, which was April 19th, from January 21st to April 19th was 88 days. From false Passover to which April 19th to July 16th, which is the second blood moon, the other blood moon of this year, was 88 days. From July 16th to October 12th was 88 days. October 12th to yesterday, January 8th, was 88 days. And from January 8th to January 24th/25th is 8 plus 8 days. So January 8th plus 8 days, and then another plus 8 days, which is 88, just like I'm showing right here. 7 plus 7, in a sense, is 77. So from January 8th to add 8 days and another 8 days gets you to January 24th/25th, right on the crux there. So that's another 88. So we had basically 5 88s this year. This is the year of the 88, marked by blood moons, false Jewish Passover, which is all by the elites, to mark in the center of that, to put it exactly in the center of 176 days, which is 88 and 88, which sounds very similar to 176, sounds very similar to 1776, or 176 is 88 plus 88, 1776 is 888 plus 888. Anyway, blah, wow. Ooh, mouthful here. Okay, here we go. Next is the conception. Now, the conception was when Jupiter, the false god Jupiter, but also in God's way of looking at it, the enemy called it Jupiter later, but it's really the king planet. Before, enemy got in, called it Jupiter, which is really Nimrod, which is really Osiris, which is really all these different gods and different religions, which is really the sun god, all this kind of stuff. But it's really the king planet, which represents the birth of the man-child, which is the bride of Christ, or the body, the man-child, the body of Christ, because Jesus is already birthed into heaven as the head of the body. Then the body, the faithful who are following him, are going to be joined to the head. But the conception was when Jupiter entered into Virgo, and that was 11/20, or November 20th, 2016. And this is crazy. Watch this. From that conception to this final attack day, which was 77 days after the Golden Gate alignment, is 1,161 days. When I realized this, I blew my top. My head exploded. I got off the ground, and I could not believe. I had to pick up pieces of my head and put them back together, and it took me a couple days. 1161, are you kidding me? What is that? Well, that's God's number. Okay, because he came up with all this stuff in the heavens, as I'm saying, sun, moon, and stars and all that. But check this out. It's upside down and backwards, 1911, which is the 19th day, the 11th month, which is January 19th, 11/19. I hope you're blown away, because my head exploded, and I had to pick up pieces for days. Could not believe all this stuff. This is all extraordinarily amazing to me. This is his timeline. Finally, I can use his timeline to confirm iPad Go 2 and many other things that I've been looking at in media, in all that stuff, and put it all together. And I believe I might have the final solve here. But again, I don't know. This is the best I can do. The evidence seems to show I'm getting closer and closer and closer, and each time I think I'm right there. But there's just more evidence. There's more things. There's all these things are just pointing to the actual day, and this may be it. This may be the complete ironclad. Using God's measurements as the final, key to what all this is, and the final ruler, in a sense. I use this as God's ruler to measure the exact time, and this is phenomenal to me. Hope it blows your mind, because it's blowing my mind. And then God's perfect sign with this perfect balance of all these eclipses and everything in a center point of January 5th, 2015, going exactly 5 years to this last January 5th, 2020, as we look at it, which was 5 years. But also, and that's this from the center point, like I mentioned, is 266 days, 266 days. That's a twin birth. That's two births from the center point at the end of both these blood moons, so these tetrad blood moons, which 266 is the actual full time of the from conception to actual birth is 266 days, and then that's also 223 weeks from 1/5/15 to 1/5/20. And that's 5 years. But also, if you go from 1/5/15 to 1/5/20, it's 5 years, plus the 7 plus 7 I was saying is January 19th, or 1119, because January is the 11th month. So that's adding 2 sevens onto the end of this, just like we added 2 sevens onto the beginning of the conception of the man-child, or from the birth of the man-child at 9/9 to 9/23, the actual sign of the alignment, which is crazy. I'm like, okay, Lord, help me. And then check, this is mind-blowing. So from here, not only was this telling us that this, showing the end in so many ways, it was pointing to this time frame right here, or sorry, the end time frame right here, which what happened that week, ending in 9/28 or September 28, 2015, Obama addressing the UN. But the previous that week, the Obama and the Pope met, and the Lord told me around that time, or just after that, that was a covenant for the destruction of the United States. And then also including Israel as well, but really because the Pope came to the United States. Then a few days later, he addressed or the next day or whatever, he addressed Congress. There's this whole thing. It was a whole ritual for the destruction of the United States. And I finally have some proof of that. If you go from September 23rd, 2015, when they both met in DC, basically, to January 23rd, I'm saying is the first tsunamis. It's going to be the really America laid low, like was shown in my dream. It's 1,584 days, or 4 years and 4 months, because BO was the 44th president, or 52 months. There's a lot to 52. Trump recently said 52 Iranian targets we might hit. 52 is also that 25, I'm saying backwards, which is Christmas, the 25th, also January 25th. It's so many things. I'm not going to get into all this. But check this out. When you look up 1584 in Strong's Concord, before I do that, 1584 is 15 is 1 plus 5 is 6. 8 plus 4 is, which is also Barack Obama's birthday, August 4th. But 8 plus 4 is 12, and that's 6, 6. 6 plus 6, so that's 666. Then, if you look up 1584 in Strong's Concordance, in Hebrew, it's gamar, which means to end or come to an end or complete. And that confirms what I've been saying about what the Lord showed me about. It would be the end. It was a covenant between the Antichrist and the false prophet to end the United States. And exactly this time later is going to be the end of the United States. The beginning of the end, really the end, because it's going to be America laid low, and we'll never recover from that. And then it will just keep being destroyed. That's the 23rd, with the 2 mega tsunamis on both coasts and the destruction of Hawaii and all that. And then a couple days later will be the nuclear attack with nukes, some from subs on the coast, Russian subs, but also nukes will be here. They're already here in certain major cities, including Seattle and other ones, and Los Angeles, and other things that are being predictably programmed, and all these different major cities, and they're going to go off, and it's going to be blamed on, guess who? Iran. And here's Iran, okay? These two guys were assassinated recently, and Soleimani was the one that's mainly, displayed for America, but it was two guys. It was Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis. He's a politician, formerly an Iraqi turned Iranian, as probably a traitor or whatever. These all are elites. These are part of the game. In fact, these two are probably not even dead. This is all a show, and their names are actually a show as well. And I'm going to show that. And I'm going to show you how these elites play these games, and in their names are actually what the messaging and the rituals and everything. So these two guys, by the way, twin attack. We have twin carriers, twin this, twin that, twin coasts, twin birth, I mean, all this twin stuff. And these are two guys, two leaders that are riding with, one's a big-time politician, one's a big-time Iranian general. They're both in there, they've collaborated together and all that stuff, but they're all part of this. So check this out. And then, in their funeral, this is the Ayatollah right here and another leader. These people are crying in front of Iran, all of Iran. And I'm gonna clue you in, people who think that this is done, and Trump just said, oh, hey, we don't want to go to war and we want peace and all this stuff. You think this is done? No, not by a sight. No. You'll see. What I'm saying is probably going to play out within a few weeks of when these first attacks happened. So, and this was the funeral in Iran. I mean, this was a big deal for America to put this kind of a strike and a wound. And again, this is all for the masses to believe all this. So they're baited, they're baited and hooked into all this. And this all is believable by the masses. So this all happens, and World War III happens, and then the mark of the beast comes, and all this stuff happens. Okay, they're there with this big pomp and circumstance and all this horrible tragedy and everything. And so Iraqi militant killed by U.S. worked with Iran Iraqi militant killed by U.S. worked with Iran for decades. Abu Mahdi al-Muhandis, a veteran Iraqi militant who was Iran's elite Qud force and the architect of its regional military alliances. Now, it's funny they call him the architect. And I'm going to get into that. But his first name, Abu, means father of, and then Mahdi is, like I said, a spiritual or temporary leader who will rule before the end of the world and restore religion and justice. Okay, so the Mahdi, or al-Mahdi, is the Muslim savior or Messiah in a sense. His name is Abu Mahdi and Muhandis, which means architect or engineer. So this is a message. Both names of these men are a message, and they're a full message. And I'm going to show you this. This is very striking. If you got to follow this. This is really crazy. And then his name, Qasem Soleimani, is... When I saw his name, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I saw it immediately. I could not believe it. This is really crazy. So Qasem means one who distributes or someone who shares. Okay, that's what it means. The name Soleimani, Soleil was obvious because I took French in high school for a couple years, and I knew Soleil was the sun. And then look at his name. Soleil is sun, exactly spelt that way. S-O-L-E-I, Soleil, man, I. Sun, man, I. I mean, are you kidding me? This floored me. I could not believe this. So what this is really saying, I'm telling you, the architect, father of the Mahdi, sharing the sun man. This is what this is saying. Okay, so who's the architect? Who do Masons believe is the grand architect? Satan. And Masons have this, the architect, you've seen that, the square with the compass and everything and all that. And that's the grand architect, they call it. The architect, father of the Mahdi, sharing the sun man is what their names mean. I mean, are you kidding me? And that's not it. Wait till you see this one. Look at this guy. That's the Ayatollah. He's Hussein Rouhani, president of Iran. The latest Ayatollah. Okay, Rouhani is really backwards. In an hour. Now, you think this is all organic? You think this is not all? You're not being played by these guys' names I've already shared, and all these things I'm showing you, and this guy's name is backwards, exactly backwards, in an hour. I mean, correctly in English should be in an hour, but doesn't matter. In an hour is crazy. And now look, Revelation 18:19, woe, woe to you, great city, where all who had ships on the sea become rich through her wealth. In 1 hour she has been brought to ruin. Let's talk about Mystery Babylon, which the United States is. I hope you're getting this. This guy's name is in an hour. These guys' names mean the Sun Man is coming from Lucifer, the architect, that's running the whole show. That's the main religion. Masonry and Illuminati are their main religions. I mean, that's what's being promoted in all media every day, every day, every day, every day. In 1 hour. Are you kidding me? And you think that this is not going to happen? You think this is all going to be neutralized? No, with that funeral, with the fresh tensions. In fact, this was this morning. Iran's Revolutionary Guards threaten more severe revenge. What could be next? That was very fresh this morning. It ain't over. It ain't even begun. It hasn't even begun. I say ain't. It ain't over. It ain't even begun. You just brace yourselves, put on your seatbelt, go to Lord Jesus. Please, I beg you. I beg you with all my heart, wake up to what's going on. If anything, you need to see that this is all a big sham. The world is a sham to pull the wool over your eyes for the truth. So you will not know who God is. You will not know who Jesus really is. And he's trying to help you. He's trying to help you see that he is the only way. I guarantee it. He is the only way out of this. You're not going to, even when this starts happening, you're not going to be able to shoot your way out of this. You're not going to be able to stock up your way out of this. Nobody will be safe. Nobody. The only ones that will be more safe will be the ones who are following Jesus, and they'll have miracles and signs follow them and everything. The people that wake up after the faithful are gone, they're going to wake up. They'll be God's new elect on this earth, but they will be hunted and killed. And some will be successful for a while until the next rapture happens. I'm just telling you ahead of time. So I wish the best for all of you. I really do. And please take warning and take heed. And, when things start happening, possibly on the 18th/19th, we'll see how it goes, okay? But if things start happening like I'm saying, then you've been warned and you have some kind of footing to share with other people, or to at least believe for yourself. And I also want to ask for your help as well. I wasn't going to, and then I just asked the Lord kind of in my mind. I'm like, he just said to ask again for, I don't know why. So I wasn't going to ask, but if you can please, well, I always ask for prayer. Please, I beg you to pray for me and my family being out here, on the firing line in a sense, or on the, there's just a lot of things that happen. My family's still a little sick, and it's crazy, some of the stuff sometimes. But things are getting better and all that stuff, but it's definitely a lot harder in different ways. And always getting attacked in different ways. So I appreciate your prayers. Thank you please share this video like you've never shared anything, especially if something happens on the 18th/19th, please share this. Get this word out. Please, I beg you, as much as you can. If you right now back it up on some hard drive or something, and then if this happens, then be able to share it with other people. I mean, because they may turn all this off at some point, or YouTube, because of these last things they've been doing and preparing, they may be able to just, shut this off right before it happens, or something on the 18th or 19th or something. That may happen, and I've been concerned about that as well for people. But also ask if you're able at all to send some funds my way. Because I'm basically just completely relying on that for what I'm doing, and I'll bring some more information as I can. Please, my PayPal link is in the description box. If you're able to help me and my family, I really appreciate it. If not, no big deal, but that's just how I'm trusting the Lord right now with possible donations. I don't monetize my channel, never have, never will. Anything like that. I don't sell products and all that. I just don't believe in that. I wasn't going to even ask for anything, but right now, because of the time it takes to put this stuff together, I can't really do anything. And that's what he's showing me to do. So I'm asking for support with some funds if you are able to give. So I thank you so much. And I just pray that Jesus would bless you mightily, and God would bless you mightily in so many ways. And hopefully you wake up to the truth. And I'm going to give you some foundation for your feet when these things start happening, whenever that is. And hopefully you're encouraged that we're almost there. For the people, the faithful that are waiting and fighting the enemy every day, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Our time of redemption is almost here. It is. So God bless you. This is Exalted Lamb 1, over and out.